Hello guys, and welcome to Spielberg for the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring here in beautiful sunny conditions on race day. I gotta tell you, it was a very rainy qualifying session and I had some very inconsistent results there. I did 1 or 2 quick laps and I ended up in pole with about 4 seconds down to Hamilton, who is in second position, so I chose not to include the entire qualifying session here. We are off to a pretty good start here. We have Hamilton in P2, Rosberg is in P3, is immediately behind him, and as you can see here, we're almost neck and neck with Hamilton coming into turn 1, but we have the line and are able to cut him off successfully and are pulling away from the rest of the pack here on the opening lap. And also, speaking of the rain in qualifying, there is a 41% chance of rain here on race day, and as you can see right now, the conditions are beautiful and sunny right now. We are out on the option tire here, but we are expecting to come in and change for wets later on. Also, we are basically hoping for some rain because we are running a sort of middle of the pack setup here with a reasonably high wing setting, meaning if some cars are running a dry setup, they are sure to be catching us in a straight line here, but in the twisty, windy parts of the track, we should have the advantage. But like I said, we are banking on it being a rather wet race later on today, but for now, the conditions are beautiful and sunny. Just getting a warning for cutting the corner there. They seem to be very harsh about this at Red Bull Ring. Lap 1 status report, we are in first position, about 3 seconds ahead of Hamilton, and Rosberg is immediately behind him. Jumping ahead to lap 4 here, as you can see, Hamilton has closed the gap on us just a little bit. He's still about 2 seconds down. He's outside DRS range at the moment, and we are basically matching him lap for lap here. The reason he has caught up to us by a second there are due to some less than stellar laps on our part. So it's not really because he's driving any faster than us, he's just driving better than us at this point. Skipping right ahead to lap 8 here, the gap down to Hamilton seems to be pretty constant, fluctuating between 2 and 3 seconds right now, and I guess that's both positive and negative. The positive thing obviously is that he has not been able to close within DRS range of us, and the little bit of a negative thing is that we are not opening up a gap on him either. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out later in the race. I'm not really sure what compound he's on right now. I should probably have kept a closer eye on him at the grid there at the start. I would have known, but I didn't, so I'm not really sure at this point. But let's just assume he's out on options, and so are we. So keeping him at bay is pretty good. And lapping Grosjean here on lap 8 is definitely not normal. He must have had some sort of problem and been into the pit to rectify that. Jumping ahead to lap 11 here. We are now starting to open up a bit of a gap down to Hamilton. We are currently 4 seconds ahead of him, but as you can see there, Rosberg is immediately behind Hamilton, and also Vettel is within a second of Rosberg there, so he's going to have DRS, and I guess those 3 guys are going to fight it out here for the time being. But at the moment, they are not within striking distance of us, and that's something to be happy about. Skipping ahead to lap 14 here, the gap down to Hamilton and Rosberg continues to increase, and I'm not sure whether Hamilton is running in fuel conservation mode or not. We have not been saving fuel yet, but have been running in standard mode throughout the race so far. And that is going to save us some fuel and should be able to get us to the finish line without too much trouble, but obviously we're not going to have spare fuel for later in the race. I don't think that is going to be a problem either, as we are probably going to be running in lean mode for most of a rainy stint. And like I said, I am expecting it to rain later on, so we are kind of calculating with having to run in lean mode for at least 10 or 15 laps there. So we're guessing that'll be sorting itself out, hopefully. Lap 19, we currently have a gap down to Hamilton of almost 9 seconds at this point here, as we are coming in to make our first stop of the race. We are going to be changing to a set of primes here because we have not gotten any word on rain being on the horizon yet. So I am wary of taking out another set of options here and maybe having to do an extra stop about 20 laps from now, and then 3 or 4 laps later, it's going to start raining. Really hoping that we can take these primes that we're putting on right now, take those all the way to when the rain starts. So I think Hamilton actually went into pit right behind us there because he hasn't overtaken us yet. But Rosberg is currently into P1, and we rejoin the track in 2. Coming over the line here, as you can see, there are cars in the pits right now, and I would be surprised if Rosberg were not one of them. However, we have not seemed to change positions yet, as we are still in P2 here. Bottas is about 10 seconds down on us right now, and Ricciardo is in 4th. I'm not sure what happened to Hamilton there. He just went off the grid. He was about 9 seconds behind us before we went into pit, but right now he's nowhere to be seen. Jumping ahead to lap 23 there, Rosberg was into pit and is about 13 seconds behind us right now, with Ricciardo running in 3rd. And also still reasonably nice weather right here. It doesn't appear to be any kind of rain on the horizon right now if you just look at the sky there. However, I have to say I am really surprised with how competitive the McLaren is on this track here, especially given the setup that we're running here. And it could be that the AI cars are just running more of a rain setup than we are here. And I guess if the rain starts later on, we're going to figure out just who's fastest in the wets. Skipping to lap 28 here, the gap down to Rosberg appears to be pretty constant, as he is about 13 seconds down on us right now, and Ricciardo is still in P3. Skipping right ahead to lap 33 here, Rosberg is now starting to close the gap on us a little bit here, and is currently lapping about a second faster than us per lap, as he has closed the gap to about 9 seconds just as we pass Maldonado there for the second time this race. But no drama there whatsoever. And also, it does appear to be getting a little more overcast at this point here. I mean, the weather is still reasonably nice, but the sun seems to have disappeared right now, and just as we expected, this could indicate that there is some rain on the horizon there. Just running wide there in the last corner. These primes definitely do not have the grip that the options did, and also they are starting to show a little bit of wear. Jumping ahead to lap 38, the gap down to Rosberg appears to be pretty constant at the moment there, but Ricciardo seems to be falling behind by quite a margin. And I'm going to be rather anxious to see whether Rosberg has that extra gear there and will be able to close the gap on us further, because he seemed to chop off like 3 or 4 seconds on us really quick. But during the last 5 laps or so, we have managed to keep him at bay, and the gap pretty much stays within 8 or 9 seconds at the moment. Jumping ahead to lap 41 here, we put in our fastest lap of the race so far, and we are going to need that because Rosberg has closed the gap down to us to about between 6 or 7 seconds right now, so he is definitely lapping faster than us, unless we really do something about it. And just as I say that, he puts in a fastest lap, and this is only going to be the beginning of a really strong stint from Rosberg. Lap 42, fastest lap of the race. Lap 45, fastest lap of the race. Skipping ahead here to the end of lap 45, he has all but closed the gap on us there. He is right there in our right mirror. He's going to have a look down the inside of us there, but we stick to our racing line, hopefully being able to outbrake him into the corner there, and we get a warning for cutting the corner. I'm not sure we did, but thankfully a warning's all it is. Skipping to lap 47, as you can see, the skies have really opened at this point. This happened rather suddenly. We had a few raindrops on lap 45, but usually it doesn't happen this fast. All sorts of debris in the corner. Somebody must have lost a wing there. So we're coming in to change for intermediates. Almost losing the car, actually hitting the barrier there. No damage, thankfully. And it's going to be interesting to see there. I think Rosberg was actually into pit on the last lap there, so I'm not really sure where he is right now. And we are, oh God, we're going to be held back 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Oh my God. We just seem to be right at the head of a complete train of cars there that went in to put on intermediate tires all at the same time. So we lose 4 seconds in the pit, and that's not going to be good. Well, let's see. We rejoin in P1 here, so it appears that Rosberg is somewhere behind us, but I'm not really sure where. And on lap 49 here, the safety car has been deployed apparently, as we have 2 cars out of the race as we go from 19 runners to 17. And this is not going to be good for us because we had a gap of about 17 seconds down to Rosberg there. He's going to be closing that easily now. And also Hamilton has re-emerged into P3 at the moment. I haven't seen him for about 30 laps there. I thought he might have crashed out of the race somehow, but he is still running and he is into P3 now. And as it appears that the conditions here on the track is getting way worse and the safety car is going to stay out for another lap at least, we are going to take this opportunity to go in and make the change to full wets, even though the track conditions are not for full wets yet. However, the way the rain is coming down at the moment, I am expecting that to change within this lap. So the safety car is going to give us the chance to rejoin rather quickly here, not losing too much time. And I would expect that the AI cars are going to be going in to change for full wets within the next 2 or 3 laps here. So hopefully that's going to give us the opportunity to make up some time on them while they're in the pits there. We rejoin the track in P3. Hamilton is ahead of us, and Rosberg is in the lead. And quite rightly so, the safety car is coming in this lap here, and as you can see, the track conditions have gotten even worse, if that is even possible, here over the last half a lap here, as there is no visible racing line on the track anymore. So it's all standing water at the moment, and it is definitely time for full wets. And as we get underway, as you can see, all the AI cars are heading into the pits here to change for full wets. We have full wets on already, so all we have to do is put the pedal to the metal and hopefully put some time into these guys while they're in to change tires. Skipping to lap 56 here, as you can see, we have a gap of about 17 seconds down to Rosberg, and Raikkonen, who is running in P3 at the moment, again, I'm not sure where Hamilton is about 9 seconds down on Rosberg. I have no doubt that Rosberg is going to be able to close the gap on us, but the question is he going to be able to do it quickly enough, as we only have about 14 laps left of the race. Jumping ahead to lap 64, I guess you have your answer right there in the right mirror. Yes, he is able to close the gap quickly enough, as he is right on our exhaust right now, giving us all sorts of fits here. And as we run wide coming into the right-hander there, fortunately he is unable to take advantage of that. Lap 65, turn 1, we lose the back end of the car coming out of the corner, running into the grass here, having to recover not to hit the barrier. And Rosberg takes full advantage of that, heads down the outside of us here, and we are into P2. However, coming into the corner here, we have a look down the inside of him there, and are able to squeeze through in what, I have to say, what looked like an illegal overtake, but no action taken. And I have to say, I've gotten a ton of warnings there over the weekend cutting that corner. So I'm really surprised why that didn't happen this time there. Rosberg going neck and neck with us here into the right-hander, but he has to back out of it. And again, there's just not much grip right here at this part of the track. And I got a feeling that if my back end steps out running wide again here, oh, this is getting ugly. I got a feeling that if my back end just steps out once, or we run off the track once here, that is going to be it for us, because if Rosberg passes us and is able to get like 1 second ahead of us, we are going to be done. And I get the feeling as we come out here on the finishing straight, Gott running wide one more time here. Rosberg going down the outside of us there. Not much we can do about that. We have the fuel enrich mode. Just trying to see if we can't go down the inside of him again, and we do, but this is getting most difficult, and I don't think we're going to be able to hold on to first. Coming out on the second DRS straight here, Rosberg is right on our tails there, and he's gonna have a look down the inside there. We bump wheels not once but twice, actually, going neck and neck into the right-hander here, and he backs out of it one more time as we run wide, but again he is unable to capitalize. And I'm truly starting to wonder whether this is a good idea, because I get the feeling that we might be putting ourselves out of the race here if we keep this up, and Vettel is only about 15 seconds down, so we could easily end up losing more than just one place here if we do spin off the track. Lap 69 here, we have a bit of a breather as we have a half a second gap down to Rosberg there, but we mess up coming through turn 1 again, running wide, and again Rosberg is right on us there, going neck and neck here. We managed to close him off this time, just sticking to our line, so he has to back out of that one, but for how long can we keep this up? Skipping to lap 71, we are coming into the final turns of the race here. Rosberg is right on us. He's going to have a look down the inside there, but he has to back out, and that means that unless we take the car off the track right here in the last turn, which I could easily see myself doing, we are going to be winning the Austrian Grand Prix, and boy, these were some hairy final laps, I have to say. So as expected, that once the heavy rain started coming down, we were going to have problems, and we certainly did. Anyway, we take first here in front of Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton is down in fourth, meaning we increase our lead in the Drivers' Championship for the time being at the very least. And having a look down here at the DNFs, Felipe Massa, Nico Hülkenberg, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, who was running in third for much of the race. So that's where he went. Drivers' Championship, we have a lead of 44 points down to Lewis Hamilton, who is in second, and Nico Rosberg is re-emerging here in third at the moment. And the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes still in front here, but we are closing the gap and are only 9 points down at the moment. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more F1 2014, and I'll be seeing you soon enough. Bye-bye.